Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome to the heavyweight clash between Barcelona and Manchester United coming here on Thursday night, which sees not only two of the most informed teams in the world right now come up against each other, but actually it pits two of the most exciting coaches in the world as well. Really good football amongst these two teams, really exciting clash to come, and we are going to be taking a closer look today at that head-to-head battle, at how the two teams will come up against each other, where the game will be won and lost, and those individual battles. They were all sitting back right now. We are waiting. We're excited to see how Marcus Rashford is going to do coming up against this Barca defence. There's lots to discuss and lots to delve into. So sit back, relax if you can, and get ready for this battle. Because today's big match tactical preview is coming to you courtesy of Manscaped.com, who are here today, guys, to wish you all a very happy Valentine's Day and ultimately to help us all get over our rather agonising breakup from Champions League football. I mean, breakups don't come any more painful than that. But Manscaped are here today to get you back in the game. Because this Valentine's Day, Manscaped are offering 20% off your order when using the discount code TalkFCB. So that means right now you can get your hands on the Performance Pack 4.0. That's going to see you safely on your way. It includes there the Lawnmower 4.0. That's the big signing. That is something there that's an essential bit of grooming kit, complete with its skin-safe technology. And there's so much else there that's going to help you on your way and get you in tip-top condition. So if you do want to get yourself the latest men's grooming products, please do go and head over to manscaped.com and use the code TalkFCB for 20% off. Thank you all for your great support here on the channel. But indeed here, when you are looking at this Man United Barca battle, I think when you're looking at the coaches, like I say, they are incredibly exciting. And not only about the way that they performed this season, but I think their ideas about football, there's definite similarities there between Xavi and Erik Ten Hag. They both think about football in the right way. They both look to play on the front foot with exciting attacking football, which is something that both of these fan bases have been demanding over the past few seasons. And I think if you're starting here with the Barca shape and the formation and what we can expect from Xavi, we know that recently we started to adopt a system here with four midfielders. Now, on the face of it, it might look like a 4-3-3. It might even look like a 4-2-3-1. And at times it will look like a 4-4-2. It's actually quite difficult to pin down this new Xavi system to a specific formation. It's very fluid, but what we are going to have emphasis there is on midfield, on control, and gaining superiority in that area. But I think it's very interesting because when you're looking then at Erik Ten Hag's setup, we all know certainly for him it's a 4-2-3-1. That has been his tried and trusted go-to formation now for many, many years, even going back there with his time at Ajax. We know how well that formation work with them, and what we've seen in the season so far is that the Man United players, they're really starting to understand now what Erik Ten Hag is asking them to do. They're buying into it, and it is really, really paying dividends. But I think it is quite interesting, because when you are looking at those two setups then head-to-head, Barca versus United, Xavi versus Ten Hag, they're not a million miles apart. There are certain similarities there in the way that the two teams are going to set up, and in some ways that may cancel out one area, that might nullify the threat of another, but I think there are certain differences and really key ones that we've got to pinpoint. I think the first player that we've got to focus on here, it's all about Xavi. And I'm really interested here to see how Man United sort of deal with that threat of Xavi, because like I say, he's lining up effectively as a left winger, but he won't play there. He will certainly be very inverted. He will come inside. He will join up with the midfield. And especially when you think of Xavi's performance against Real Madrid in the Super Cup, he was outstanding. They couldn't deal with him. They didn't know the right way to play him. And it's going to be really interesting to see how Man United deal with that threat. I would also look at our left side in general there, especially with Xavi coming inside. How are they going to handle Balde? And I actually think here Alejandro Balde could surprise Man United a lot there. With that raw pace that he has, he's going to be driving at them. And the aim for Barca will be, how often can we get him forward? How often there can we release him on that left-hand side there to go up against Man United's defence, to go in behind them and really cause problems? And I would be looking there at the right-hand side of Man United, and especially that right wing role. It's not going to be Anthony. He's injured right now. Garnacho is an outside bet get in that area, most likely it's going to be Jadon Sancho. And I think that's interesting in itself there, because Sancho is somebody who's capable of producing magic. He's got that at his disposal, but this season he has struggled with consistency at Man United. And what I would say about him is he hasn't played a great deal of football recently. So I think there, if you're Balde, work him hard. Make sure you're constantly going in behind him, making him work back, really pushing him to the limit in this game, and make sure he does most of his work looking back towards his own goal. And I do think then, when you're looking at particular weaknesses across the two teams, and when you're looking for areas to really target, I think the centre-back position at United without Lisandro Martinez, that is going to be crucial. Lisandro Martinez is suspended there after picking up 3 yellows in this competition, and he, for me, is a massive loss to Ten Hag's team. He is absolutely fantastic in terms of his aggression, in the way that he goes about his game, bringing the ball out. He's a real key part of this system for Ten Hag, and there's every suggestion right now that the man to replace him, it could actually be Luke Shaw. They might bring him in field there. He played there against Leeds at the weekend. He played well in that area. But what a test that would be for him in a game like this. And I just think right now, you're thinking about Robert Lewandowski, looking there at Luke Shaw at centre-back. You've got to go for that. You've got to target that area there. And especially in a game like this, as big as it is, the bigger the opponent, the better. For Robert Lewandowski, he is going to absolutely savour playing in a match like this. And it's not only about him, because that's the real point that I'd make here about this new system at Barca right now. It's not just about Lewandowski targeting the centre-backs there, Shaw and likely Varane, but it's about Pedri too. We have got to make sure that he is as close as we possibly can get him to Robert Lewandowski. As we saw at the weekend against Villarreal, the two combined absolutely brilliantly for a stunning goal it was in that game, and that's what we have to see from Pedri. He has 4 goals in his last 7 games. He can be a goal threat for us here. And again, United then have got to pick up those runs. They've got to track those runs. They've got to be aware of those runs. Pedri can cause danger. For Barca, though, we do have some key absentees of our own. There will be no Ousmane Dembele and also no Sergio Busquets in this game for Xavi. And you can't really understate how key those losses are. You know, Dembele, I'm sure United will be very, very happy they don't have to defend against him. That pace, the unpredictability of going inside, going outside, so two-footed. And Busquets has been really key in this new formation here for Xavi. So you're looking there at Rafinha to coming. Big game it is going to be for him. And against maybe more familiar opposition in terms of a Premier League team. We know how good he was at Leeds. Coming up against United, he might feel more comfortable and more confident in a game like this, perhaps. And Kessie in midfield. It's going to be interesting to see what United do there, because if you're looking at this Barca team right now, maybe you would target Kessie. Out of all the midfield players, him coming in here, he's going to be tested. They're going to try and get in behind him, get in around him, put pressure on him on the ball, but he has to stay firm to that. He's been really good in recent times against Sevilla, against Villarreal, 2 good teams that he's come up against and he's come out on top. He's got to do it again here. He has to make sure that he's focused and careful on the ball in that midfield. As far as Man United go, though, in midfield, Ten Hag's selection problems very much continue. A number of high-profile injuries in that area. There is no Christian Eriksen. That's a big loss for Man United there. And also no Sabitzer. He is also suspended for this game. But I think United would trade in all of those midfield players who are absent to have this man available once again. Casemiro is going to be back in their team, and that is an almighty boost for Erik Ten Hag. There's no denying the impact that Casemiro has had, how much he really holds it all together in there. That's a position that United have been crying out for now for many years, and I think he really suits the Premier League as well. But here's the thing, because I think the real key here for Barca is that we know him. We know exactly what Casemiro can do. We also know what Casemiro cannot do. We got plenty of experience coming up against him over the years, and I think the key for us is going to be put pressure on him. Certainly in possession of the ball there, you want to get in around him, certainly get bodies around him, and I think certainly we've got the numbers in midfield to do that. And I think the key is going to be finding space between himself and Fred alongside in there. And I'm looking at Frenkie de Jong to do just that, because we know here how highly Ten Hag himself rates Frenkie de Jong, and in a game like this, you feel like it's set up perfectly for him. We know that he's going to have to sit a bit deeper there with the absence of Busquets in this team. He's the one who's going to be really holding and receiving the ball off our defence. But as we saw against Villarreal, that doesn't stop his runs. He is still able here to cut teams apart and slice through midfield to open up the pitch. And De Jong is going to have a big game. This is a massive, massive moment for him here to show again what he is capable of. And I believe he's ready to do it. But by far and away, the biggest threat in this game for Barca, by far and away, Man United's most dangerous player, it's Marcus Rashford. And this is the battle for me that could define this game, that could certainly define this tie over the two legs. He is somebody this season who already has 21 goals to his name. His confidence is back. He is feeling such belief in front of goal again. And since the World Cup, he has scored more goals than any other player in Europe's top 5 leagues. He is absolutely unbelievable. There's no question about that. But here's the thing about that too, because if there was one position in any opposition team, if there was one area where I'd want their best player to be, it's left wing. That is exactly where I'd want them, because we've seen it against Real Madrid in terms of shutting down Vinicius Jr. Again, it's out on that side, because we have the luxury here of Ronald Araujo. Now, is he going to go out there in a game like this and meet Rashford head on? That's a battle that I think all of us would love to see. Rashford up against Araujo for 90 minutes and more. That would be so exciting. So are we going to see Araujo playing in that right back spot? It's possible. It really, really is. We've seen it against Real Madrid. Or even if we don't, look at that cover that we have there. We can play Koundé up against Rashford there, which again would be a really exciting battle in itself. But then you've also got the cover of Araujo in behind there, the pace that he can make up. That is going to be the battle to watch there. Koundé and Araujo making sure that Rashford stays quiet. But I think we do have to be careful with our high line in this game. Right throughout it, we've got to be very, very focused, because that's exactly the kind of space that Rashford thrives upon there. He is going to want to run in behind. They're going to be looking all the time to set him away on the counter-attack. You think about Bruno Fernandes. He's another really key player for United. If you're giving him time and space in midfield, if you're giving away the ball cheaply in a dangerous area, he has the ability to pick that pass, to set Rashford free, and when he's in on goal, he is putting them away right now. So we've got to be so careful and concentrated there throughout this game. But I just think our defence right now, looking right the way along that back line, Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, Balde and Ter Stegen, I just believe we're ready. I believe we are ready here to stand up, to be firm in a game like this, and to shut down whatever threat comes our way. We've proven it so far this season. In the league, we have been unbelievable defensively, and now the question is, can we do it in this competition? Can we do it against Man United, who are such a good team, who have such good players, and one of the most in-form attackers in the world? Now is the time to really show what our defence can do. So that there, guys, is a closer look into what we can expect on Thursday night from Barca against Man United at the Camp Nou. It just sounds right. It just sounds as though this is a fixture that you want to see in European competition. Please let me know what you're expecting from the game, the individual battles that you're excited about. What do you think there about that Rashford-Araujo battle, and any of the others as well that spring to your imagination? I'll be waiting to hear all of your thoughts in the comments down below, and I am counting down the minutes until this game. I will see you though tomorrow for the full match preview. There's still lots more to come. There is still lots more that we have to talk about, and I really want you guys to be a part of that. Thank you indeed today for all of your support. A big thank you as well to Manscaped Indeed for theirs. I will be seeing you soon. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.